Sorry I couldn't do this video yesterday. Had a lot going on and just didn't get the time to sit at the computer and get it done. So I hope that your week has been great. It's been a little chilly this week. Like I've said to some of you who I've interacted with, I would definitely take this cold weather over 80 or 90 degrees any day. So I'm in my happy place, just enjoying the little bit of snow we got and the cooler weather. I definitely enjoy that. But I want to recap a little bit about what we talked about on Sunday. And it was the last sermon in the series that we've been in, the No Greater Love series. Enjoyed that series. Really love the book that it comes out of, The Cure. I think it's an excellent book on the grace of God and learning how to really abide in the grace of God instead of constantly trying to perform for the sake of Jesus and trying to please him, living as if that's the main goal instead of just enjoying what he's already done, enjoying the grace and the love and resting in that. I mean, any good parent knows and feels that they want their kid to rest in their love. Like they don't want their kid to constantly feel like they have to earn it and be doing things to make themselves feel worthy of that love. And so it's simply taking that principle to our everyday lives and thinking, how can I do that in my own life? How can I appreciate what God has done in a way that doesn't constantly seek to earn it? And so I really enjoyed the series, but this past week, we really focused on being known, and I've wanted to talk on that for some time. This whole series, I've had that on my mind, and so it just really fit for that last sermon. But this idea of in our churches, how much do we want to be known? How much do we come into that place? Do we interact with one another in a way which says, "I want to be known, and I want to know you"? More on a deeper level than just, hey, how you doing? How are the kids? How's the family? How's work? To me, and to many, that's just way too superficial for genuine relationships. And like I said Sunday, my goal is never to offend or to um, make people angry. But I think there are some truths that we had to talk about. And one of those truths being the friendliness of our congregation, the friendliness of our church and our people, but the lack of desire to be known, to have deep friendships, to go beyond the normal pleasantries of an interaction, and that goes just beyond Sunday. That goes to activities that we're a part of and ministries that we're a part of. How well do we actually know one another? Do we feel comfortable sharing deep hurts, prayer requests, things that are going on in our lives, so that others can come beside us and pray with us? My hope is that you have some of those people in our congregation, and some of our people. You guys are great at this. You're really good at going much deeper relationally than the easy stuff. And so I'm certainly not talking to every single one of us when I say that as a whole we struggle with this, because some of us are great. But like we talked about, the early church really grew, and they were significantly different because of the deep relationships they had, because of the community they created, because of the unity they had in the midst of all of what God was doing around them and through them in that time. They put off the social norms and they engaged with one another in a real way that was mind-blowing to the rest of the world, and we've gotten away from that. Many churches have gotten away from that. Church becomes an activity, it becomes an event, it becomes something we go to, we consume goods from a paid professional, and we leave, and that becomes the church experience for us. And my challenge to us is to exist very much like the early church did. I think I do, in my heart, I believe this was God's design all along for the church, was to engage in deep, meaningful relationships with one another, because that's where real spiritual work happens. That's where discipleship happens. That's where the real stuff of ministry happens, is in those deeper relationships. And some of us, we don't even know what that feels like. We don't know what it's like to have those deeper friendships in the church, in a biblical community. And that's my challenge to us, is to begin to figure that out, begin to invade each other's lives, invite people into your spaces. It's going to be uncomfortable at first, but I promise you, as you engage in that over time, you'll wonder, how did I ever do church without this, without the deeper relationships, without the deep connectedness that we have? I've spoken to many people who start small groups in their homes, and they say, their week doesn't feel complete without it. Like, they could miss Sunday morning church, but they cannot miss their small group, because it means so much to them. And that's the goal. I mean, that is what I want for us. I'd love us to move to a small group strategy as a church, to move to a place where, when we went to the hospital, we didn't expect some paid professional with a title to show up and say hello to us and pray over us in our hospital room, but we'd encourage those who were the closest to in the church family, to come beside us, those that we're in deep relationship with, small group with, and when they show up, it means so much more, because we have those relationships. It's not about a title; it's about a relationship that we have with people, and what that will mean when we begin to develop that type of community in our church family. So I encourage you to really prayerfully consider what that might look like for you, and how that could be possible for you, as a family, as an individual, whatever that means for you, but to put off the idea that church is an event, this superficial version of church community and biblical community, and commit to engaging the church family and the gospel the way that God has always designed the church to do it. So I don't want to belabor that too much. That was really the heart of the message Sunday, was growing in our community so we are known. And having, at the core of that is a desire to be known. If we don't have that desire, if we're trying to hide, if we're trying to fake our way through it, if we're trying to stay hidden in our personal life, then we'll never have community. You can't have community like that. It always comes across as superficial, as fake, and just not genuine. And so I hope that you're able to say, yeah, you know what? I do want to be known. I'm tired of just saying hi, bye at church and just getting the superficial stuff, from giving it and getting that from those I'm around in my biblical community. I hope that you'll want to go deeper in relationship than that. So that's my hope, but there's nothing we can do to force that. It's got to be a desire in our hearts to do that. And we're going to be doing some training in the new year. We'll do some classes, some small groups, things like that, hopefully to motivate us toward that deeper level of relationship and friendships. And I hope you'll jump in on that and you'll join us in that journey. But yeah, I think that's all I got for the recap for us. I hope this is a huge shift for us as a church family, that we would become a church who, as a whole, I don't ever expect we're going to have 100% buy-in, but I would love to have 80-90% of our people feel like, you know what, I have deep friendships in this church family. I have deep relationships in this place, and I feel connected and I feel known in this place. I do believe we can have 80-90% of that in our church family if we commit to it. And that's my goal. That's the goal I think God has given us. So that's what we're going after in the new year. So as far as calendar items are concerned, Alliance Men, we have our breakfast this Saturday at 8 a.m. On the 2nd. I see Alliance Women, you have your breakfast the following Saturday at 8:30 a.m. The Alliance Women also have their Christmas party next Friday, the 8th, December 8th at 6 p.m. And don't forget, we have the homeschool playdate group happening at 10 a.m. this coming Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Like I said, December 5th. I want to say October. Man, I'm a few months behind on life. But also, as a reminder, we do have our Christmas dinner December 17th. We have our Christmas Eve service. We are going to have Sunday morning service, but then we're going to come back at 7 p.m. for our traditional Christmas Eve service. So I do want to remind you of those things. If you missed announcements, or maybe you just were zoned out during that time, I did want to make sure you remember that. If you do plan to join us for our Christmas dinner, I do ask you to please go through the app or the website or call the office and sign up for that, so we have a solid head count for that. That will help us tremendously. But I think that's all I got for us. Yeah. I think that's all the updates we have. Well, God bless you all. I hope that you have a great day. I hope that the rest of your week is filled with lots of interactions with Jesus and friends, and you're growing in those relational aspects. I do believe God has some amazing things in store for us if we decide to open that door and go that direction that He's always wanted us to go in. So, God bless you all. Hope to see you Sunday. If you absolutely cannot make it in person, you can always catch us here online at live feed. Always starts at the sermon time, so that varies, but sometime around 11:15. We do have communion this coming Sunday, so it might be a little bit later than the average Sunday, but I am looking forward to celebrating communion with you all as we continue to grow as a family. So can't believe this Sunday will already be December. Can you believe it? It is crazy. It's our first Advent Sunday, so I'm also looking forward to that. But yeah, so hope to see you there. 10:30 a.m. For those of you live streaming, more like 11. But we'll see you Sunday, hopefully. God bless you.